Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Monday at 6. You know what time that is. It's the Sully Squad back for another episode here. Uh, got a lot to get into. Sean, I would love to say it's still Red October, but unfortunately, Red October turned blue. Man, that went by quick, bro. I mean, here we thought we were going to have a huge postseason run. Second best record in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Home field advantage against everybody but the Dodgers. And it was a short-lived October, man. 4 games. Mets took them out kind of quick. And so that was disappointing. And then, of course, our football team. I mean, I guess a win is a win, but,
Yeah.
not exactly many style points yesterday.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we said it in the text and back and forth, it's kind of ridiculous. It was kind of a lackluster game,
Mhm.
And then you got Chiriani chirping at the fans. We'll get into that. That was a joke in the scene if anybody was down there, But other than that, man, that's the only bright spot. And then we got the Sixers and Flyers to look at and look forward to. But
Yeah. So we're gonna get into it all. I don't think we have Diego tonight. So it's I got myself, Joe Sullivan, of course, and then I got my man, Mr. Sean Kilrain, Mr. Killer Kilrain. So what's up, Sean? How you doing, bro?
much, man. Just ready to do this show and end the Monday on a good note.
Yeah, so obviously very disappointed about the Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
Eagles. I mean, that's like one of those you hold your nose and you got to win. I mean, hey, no offense to our man Paul, our buddy Paul Spencer and Dave Yarnell, but at least we're not the Cowboys this week because they got their ass whooped.
They got taken to the shed, whipped, beaten, and tortured and maimed. But we'll get into it. With the Lions. Lions are a pretty solid team, and it's a shame that Aiden Hutchinson went down with that season and leg injury, breaking his fibula. Man, nothing more worse than seeing that. But hopefully for a speedy recovery for him. But man, was he tearing it on that defensive front.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. I mean, the poor guy, he's so young into his career. I mean, he was probably going to be a finalist for not defensive rookie, but defensive player of the year. Dude was just absolutely balling.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a positive of the day. And then, of course, Washington losing, that helped us.
Yeah.
Giants lost, that helped too. So, I mean, while it was an ugly win, it was a win. So let's do a little Eagles first. Biggest I got here, biggest takeaway. Now, are we going to look at this? I'll start it off. I'm going to choose to look at the glass is half full point of view. And by that I mean, you could look at a lot of negative things yesterday, but two positive things I thought. First off, I thought it was the best that Jalen Hurts has looked in a long time. I mean, he started off a little rough. I think he was like one of the first 6, but from that point on, I mean, he was pretty dead on balls accurate. And the biggest thing was no turnovers.
Yeah.
And then another positive I thought was I know the Browns' offensive line is absolutely hideous, but the pass rush was pretty good. I mean, what's 97? Ojobo? Was that his name?
Ojomo.
Yeah. So Ojomo looked good. And even Bryce Huff looked a little better than. I mean, I know he didn't really put up numbers, but at least you kind of noticed them out there a little bit, other than just like laying on the ground doing nothing.
Yeah, being a pedestrian. Yep.
Yeah. So they were my 2 biggest takeaway, and of course, AJ Brown. I mean, AJ Brown's the closest thing this town's had to this guy right here, Terrell Owens.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, you see, that that catch, well, the touchdown catch was really good.
Yeah.
Uh, the play that iced the game. I mean, I wanted to run through my TV set, dude, and strangle them for throwing the ball, but it
Yeah.
did. It did work out. It was a great throw by Jalen, great catch by AJ, and like, AJ is strong as an ox, dude. I mean, like he just, that guy was right on his ass. He held onto that ball, so they were my biggest takeaways if I'm looking at it from a glass half full perspective. Sean, like what were your biggest takeaways from the game?
Well, we got two future corners in my eyes. Quinyon,
Okay.
I mean, he's everything that you look for and drafted for in a cornerback, and Cooper DeJean. He looked solid. He looked poised, I think we got two solid corners for the future. That's a pretty solid outlook for me on yesterday's game. And then just like you touched on A.J. Brown, just the way he is after the catch. He's just great with the jump balls, and his hands are so strong, just runs after the catch, yards after the catch. I mean, he's just something special. And just to get him back is a plus, And just like you said, Jalen Hurts, no turnovers was pretty solid. I would have liked them to run the ball more, but that's just me and not Sirianni.
Well, you know what though? I mean, and I agree. I agree with you, Sean. The only thing is, I mean, Saquon's had a great year, but I'm looking at these numbers here. This was actually his worst game running the football. He was 18 for 47, 2.6 yards per carry. So, the running game wasn't quite, up to snuff like it usually is,
True.
I'll tell you, and again, like I said, I'm trying not to go too negative because I want to be positive on a victory Monday. Dude, I'm pretty close to saying that Jordan Davis is a straight up bust.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm looking, and I got to keep it real too. And Sean, you and I as Notre Dame fans, I mean, I look at that Baltimore team and you see that great safety, Kyle Hamilton, who was literally the pick right after Jordan Davis, making plays all over the field, probably top 2 or 3 safety in the National Football League.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. And then I'm looking at Jordan Davis. You know how many snaps Jordan Davis's fat ass played yesterday?
Enlighten me.
21 snaps, bro.
I was going to give him the benefit of the doubt. 25. It's just ridiculous, dude. The guy's huffing on oxygen the first game of the season or second game, whatever it is. But you know, and well as I know, you got the best hands down facility and everybody in there to hone your skills to make it better and this and that. But it seems like this kid's just loves cake and loves to eat it too. I mean, like he doesn't seem like he wants it like his counterpart Jalen Carter, and it's almost sad, but how he hyped up this Georgia Bulldog sensation of what we drafted. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, and Nolan Smith. Come on, man. He's acting like he had like a 2-game, 3-game sack yesterday, Nolan Smith. Come on, man.
Not feeling some of that. Now, Keely Ringo had a nice hit. That was a nice hit he put on that dude. He kind of jacked him up a little bit.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, they were just some of the takeaways. Mike Fuji with a comment. What's up, good fellas? What's up, Fuji? How you doing, brother? But yeah, I mean, so you figure Jalen probably played his best game in a while, like 16 out of 25, 264, 2 touchdowns, most importantly, no turnovers. So that's another takeaway.
And how about
How
about our special teams, man? Like, come on.
Well, you know what?
That whole sequence, nothing away from. I'm just saying in general, like, God damn, dude. How many years do we have to go on with this BS?
Well, so that was bad, but my main criticism was actually before that. You have 2nd and 1. Saquon runs the ball. Saquon runs the ball
Yeah.
out of bounds a yard before the first down. So he's out of bounds.
Yep.
And instead of doing and we had 3 timeouts. Now
Yes.
instead of doing like a tush push, getting the first down, then calling a timeout since you had
Mm-hmm.
3,
I know where you're going
he
with this.
Sirianni calls a timeout after he goes out of bounds, sets up that shitty ass play that had no shot. Saquon, on top of the bad decision to run out of bounds, misses the block. Next thing you know, you try a 57-yard field goal. And by the way, I don't know if I sent this. Did I send this to you, the Ace Ventura one about the laces out?
No, you said
I meant
out.
I meant to. I sent it to a few other people, but if you watch the replay of the kick, the laces were facing the kicker. As soon as I saw that, I was thinking Ace Ventura, bro.
Way to go.
You know? So laces weren't out, let's put it that way. Myles Garrett makes a great play. Rodney McLeod makes a big play, as Fuji says here. Rodney McLeod's bowling at 34. Yeah, I'll tell you. I thought McLeod was kind of done when he left here, but he's still hanging in there. That guy.
He's rejuvenated. And no, and you got to understand too. Anybody could say understand this and agree. When you played for the Eagles for so many years, or any team, it's almost like you want to kick your former team's ass, kind of make a statement, or put salt in the wound. But all in all, for his solo performance, he did pretty good, man. But it is what it is.
Yeah. So that was, that was, that sequence before that field goal drove me absolutely insane because, you got to get the first down there. Poor clock management. And that's at least like the 3rd or 4th game out of these first 5 where before the half or even at the end of the game, terrible clock management, horrible situational football. And, I don't want to kill Sirianni, but like, I got to keep it 100, man. Like, that's what he's here for. Like, he's not calling plays supposedly on offense. He's not a defensive coordinator. So like, what the hell is, what is his purpose here? His purpose is to manage the football team. Well, the team comes out, what was that? 5 games in a row, 0 points in the first quarter. I mean, that's just that's inexcusable.
Yeah. And then not only that, but he said on his presser, he's the one that messed up on the 3rd and 1 play.
Mm-hmm.
And then this kind of pissed me off because don't we have Vic Fangio? He made defensive play. Like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Like, it's not your call. I get it, you're the head coach, but so far you're really shitting the bed. And then let's get into him chirping at the fans.
Yeah.
And then, 2, why are you bringing your kids in a press conference? Oh, I know why. So when they rip you a new asshole, you're not getting it done in front of your kids. So it's like, let's ask these stupid, asinine questions or simple questions. Barkhand said it best. Leave your kids out of the press conference. Let them play on the football field. And then you can have your fun and eat it too. But he's just a clown,
Yeah, I mean, he did that to diffuse the situation, obviously, because he knew he was going to catch some shit. He came out and apologized for that today. I mean, my thing is like I normally I have 0 problem with somebody bringing their kids out there, but in that circumstance, I think he was kind of wrong because he did it because of that reason.
Exactly.
Like for instance, if we had beaten the Browns like 31-10 and had a really good showing, and he wants to bring his kids up there, I think
I mean,
everybody would have thought it was cute and laughed or whatever. But the bottom line is, like, he's out there like chirping at fans. The team looked like shit. They barely beat a 1-4 team. And then all of a sudden you got your little kids out there. And like, it was funny. One of my buddies pointed out, I think it was Johnny pointed out that like the one little boy kind of had this look on his face, like, uh-oh, this might be bad. Like even the little kid knew he was going to catch, you know what I mean? The dad might catch some shit,
like on Farzi's podcast this morning, those kids had the look of like, why the hell are we here? Like,
Right.
because dad's going to get his ass chewed out. So what better to bring up the kids and have them enlighten the situation or diffuse the situation? Not necessarily, he's just more and more becoming this clown and pom-pom coach,
Well, it sucks because I want to like the guy. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think he's a bad dude. You know what I mean? And I think in general, I think some of the players like him. I'm not sure if Jalen loves him too much, but I mean, like some of the guys I think like him. You know what I mean? Like I want him to, as an Eagles fan, I want him to succeed. But like, I feel like you almost need an adult in the room. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And with little things like that, like that's not really like leader of men type actions. Like that's not like a hey fellas, I got everything under control. We got a big game here. Or, hey, follow me. I have a plan that's going to get us to the Super Bowl. That's like it's pretty much like a fly by the seat of your pants type stuff. And then getting all emotional. By the way, the Dodgers are coming back. It's 6-3. Alonso just made an error, and it's 6-3.
Through you, Polar Bear. But back to the Eagles, like with him, he must have had a nervous breakdown like Britney Spears shaving his goddamn head. But just like Fuji said, Malata out a few weeks. Any word on Goddard? Nah. Who knows with his hamstring, man? The grade or whatever. But
yeah, I was gonna say Malata being out is a lot more. Not saying Dallas Goedert's not a decent player, but like Calcaterra looked pretty good yesterday, and Goddard misses a lot of times. So I mean, like I feel like they could get around Goddard being out, especially with all the weapons they have. But you losing your left tackle and that looked kind of bad. I feel like Malata's that looks like a 4 or 5 week John at least.
Dude, as big as he's that black sling on his leg, and his big ass was the crutches look like little sticks, toothpicks. But yeah, I mean, hamstring injuries are no joke, dude.
Yeah.
It's a strain. Hopefully it ain't a tear. It's just I mean, we don't know the grade of the strain or whatever the hamstring, but yeah, stuff like that usually ain't good,
No.
And you got little play Slay that hurt his knee, but I kind of like it because it's next man up mentality with Ringo or whoever, like Isaiah Rodgers, like, what I mean?
Yeah.
Or him, not returning kicks, playing on the other side, but it was an ugly win, but a win's a win.
That you know what? That was another takeaway from the game, actually, because you brought it up earlier with Cooper DeJean playing the slot. I thought the defense with those young guys out there looked much faster. Seemed like the defense had a lot more team speed out there with the youth.
And how about Brandon Graham? He looked.
Yeah.
He looked good. I mean, for 15th year pro, 200 games, surpassing who the hell? Kelsey, the starts. But yeah, I mean, props to him, And I hate to admit it, when we drafted him, I think me and you talked. I wasn't a big fan because we could have got Earl Thomas.
Yeah,
but lo and behold, let's fast forward, Super Bowl, strip sack on Brady, and he's just proving the naysayers wrong, like me, and
it's
just
funny.
15 years says a lot.
It's so funny you said that, because first off, by by like pretty much every account, like Brandon Graham's like an awesome ass dude. Like it's pretty much known. Like every reporter says it, fans say it, the locker room says it. Like, and like not that you get to know these dudes just from watching them talk, because who the hell knows, right? But like
Mhm.
you see that dude talk, or you hear him mic'd up, and like you could tell like he has joy being out there on that field.
Oh yeah.
And you know what I mean? And it's funny you said like the Earl Thomas thing, because if you really, I mean, if you remember, for the first like 6-7 years of his career, honestly up until the Super Bowl, pretty much, or maybe the year before that, because he had a pretty good year in
Yeah.
2016, but pretty much
Yes, he did.
pretty much until from that time, if you
Yeah.
took a poll of Eagles fans, I would say 9 out of 10, especially when Seattle was the Legion of Boom, 9 out of 10 would have been like, "Oh, we screwed up that pick." And now
Yeah.
and now you look years later, and Brandon Graham, you got to say he's going down as an all-time Eagle.
Oh, absolutely. Like
And and,
the
and,
stats
and
alone and just all his achievements and accomplishments. Yeah, you're right. But
in fact, I would put this out to a poll. As great as the Philly special obviously is an iconic play, right? That was, and everybody remembers that from that Super Bowl. But I would argue, as great as the Philly special was, the most influential, biggest play of that Super Bowl by far, bar none, was Brandon Graham's play. Brandon Graham's play was the
James,
biggest play of that Super Bowl.
when you do that on defense, Joey, it's like a punch in the gut in the balls, man. You know, it was a game changer. Brady's back there, ready to throw, and boom, strips it. You know, and you're right. Like I'm big on defense. Man, does that stay in your head and stick in your head? You know, of what he's done, and it totally changed the game. You know.
Well, I mean, we couldn't even come close to stopping him, bro. You know what I
Huh.
mean? Like that was like literally the miracle play. He doesn't make that play. Brady marches them right down the field, and let's keep it real. He's the GOAT. Not only does he march, our only hope at that point, honestly, is that he scores so freaking fast we get the ball back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like if Brandon Graham don't make that play, dude, we are absolutely screwed. So obviously shout out to Brandon Graham. And like you said, he even made a couple big plays yesterday. I mean, that one play, what was it? A second, 3rd and 1. I think he knifed through the
Yeah. Yeah.
terrible play call by Cleveland too. Like they were literally running it right up the gut, and then he tries like an outside run. But great play by Brandon Graham. He beat the guard and the tackle into the gap and stopped him for a loss. That was a hell of a play.
Mm-hmm. I just love the way he talks. Like he talks smack. Like he's one of those dudes that get under your skin.
Oh yeah.
And it was to the point. Remember, I think it was last year. Kelsey said, "Yo, man, you gotta stop chirping on the defensive dudes," because he's like, "I gotta go against them." He's gonna go with me, but
just a tremendous career, an all-time Eagle,
yeah,
and just a great example of what being a leader and a good teammate is. And this team would do well if they had 22. Well, I mean,
yeah,
I
you're right.
guess 22 Brandon Grahams out there. You know what I'm saying?
Damn right, man. Couldn't agree more with you.
I got another comment here. There was a video where BG was
Yeah,
strolling with the Browns. Yeah.
they went
Yeah, it's
into
pretty chill.
yeah, exactly. Hey, you gotta love it, man. You gotta get in their heads, Fooch. Like we always say. You
Yeah.
know?
So, but hey, you know what? I mean, that's a team that's still playing. I mean, unfortunately, we're going to move on to a team that's not playing anymore that we thought was going to be playing, and that's the Philadelphia Phillies. But before we do that, I mentioned Brandon Graham and longevity. And, I mean, Brandon Graham, 200 starts. Obviously, you play professional football, you're going to have some nicks and and bruises and injuries, and even Brandon Graham with as much football as he played. I mean, shoot, what was it about? What was it, Sean? Couple years ago, he got hurt. I think 3 years ago he got hurt the San Francisco game. He missed the year.
Yeah.
His rookie year, he missed some time. So even a guy like Brandon Graham will get hurt. Well, if you get hurt out there on the job, make sure you call my man Jason Fine, aka Attorney Big Al. Motor vehicle accidents, slip and fall, workers' compensation, or personal injury claims. He's got 3 offices throughout Pennsylvania, New Jersey, 1 in Philadelphia, 1 in Cherry Hill, and 1 in Pittsburgh. So my man will get you paid, man. BG, that's one thing. BG deserves it because he's had a great career and he's made a nice living. BG don't have to call. He don't have to call Jason Fine. You know, he's got that Eagles money, but one of us would. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yeah. But,
so I'll tell you what, man. Speaking of calling people, when the Philadelphia Phillies lost, I think a lot of people were trying to call their therapist, dude. A lot of therapy couches called by Phillies fans probably this past week, man, because not only did they lose in the first round, but you lose to the hated Mets. I mean, and I'll tell you, Sean, like I had a horrible feeling about that series.
mm-hmm.
Even, I was Sean. I was so scared I almost bought a dog, bro. Literally did. Scared shitless.
Yeah, it's almost one of those things, man. It's like a punch in the gut, man, because you kind of feel with one of the best records in the MLB, that lineup, the pitching, it was like a roller coaster. You had your stud and Zach Wheeler, but wow, just to go out and lose 4-1, it's like they kicked you, pulled your pants down and kicked you in your ass and sent you on your way home.
Oh, and you know what the worst part too, Game 4. I mean, Game 4 was like the biggest tease.
Yeah.
Now, because you're watching it. First off, Ranger battled his balls off, right?
Yes,
like
did.
I'll tell you, you could say a lot of things. You could say a lot of things about Ranger Suarez, but that dude's got a huge set of nuts on him, man, because he battles out there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So he's out there gutting that joint out. Phillies get a 1-0 lead. Then they, opportunity to get more runs. They don't get the guy over, and you were just waiting. Dude, it was like death by 1,000 cuts, wasn't it? I mean, it just drove me crazy.
Yeah, just when you think, oh man, we got 2 men on, we pop up, we're out. Leaving too many men on base. That's how it was throughout this season.
Yeah.
But icing it on the damn cake. We'll get into it. Okay, Ranger, they take out after 5.5 innings. You put in Jeff Hoffman. Jeff Hoffman was rocky the first inning. So, Topper says, why not? Let's bring him back out.
Well,
grand slam, Lindor.
Well, that was my biggest criticism of Topper. Like, first off, Ranger gets into some trouble. He brings Hoffman in. Hoffman gets out of the inning. Okay, great job. Then Hoffman sits in the dugout for a while. And listen, I'm not one to make excuses for these guys. I mean, I feel like, dude, you're a reliever. Find a way to get it done. But let's keep it real. He comes out the next inning. He clearly doesn't have it. Topper, in my opinion, I feel like Topper left Hoffman in way too long, bro. Way too long. And what I don't get is, like, they made this big thing about having Christopher Sanchez ready to come in out of the pen. Well, you saw Hoffman didn't have it, bro. Like, why can't you go to a Sanchez, or, you know what I'm saying? And then you bring Estevez in. Well, Estevez he's used to starting a clean inning.
Thank you.
So you bring Estevez in with the bases loaded, and boom, he gives up the slam, and the series is over.
Yeah, total ridiculous. Like and even with the bullpen, like you brought up, this bullpen is not like your San Diego, your Cleveland. We have such, I guess you could say, talented guys, but you like this Kirkring, he's a seventh inning stretch guy. Leave him there. Hoffman, eighth. Estevez is your closer. Leave him there. Our bullpen was like, let's pick a guy out of the name out of the hat kind of day, and it didn't work. It was so up and down, shitty. I mean, there was no identity really.
Well, the damn shame of it was the bullpen was a strength pretty much all season, and in the playoffs, it just let them down. I mean, it was one of the worst bullpen performances in like the history of the baseball playoffs. I mean, it was that bad,
Yeah.
So that obviously was terrible. And it's interesting because you look at this bullpen going forward, and Mike Fuji has a comment here. He says, who goes and who stays for the 2025 Phillies? Well, you could start that argument basically with the bullpen because Hoffman is your best. Is Hoffman and Strom are you two best setup guys? Well, Hoffman's a free agent. You went out and gave up some decent prospects to get Estevez. Estevez is a free agent. So there's there's two big decisions right there. And then another. So you're looking at Dave Dombrowski this offseason. I mean, you got to figure out, all right, are we bringing one of these guys back, both these guys back? Are we going another direction? Are we signing a free agent? Are we making a trade? That remains to be seen, right? Then you look, Alec Boehm. Alec Boehm had a great first half to the season. He totally went in the dumps down the stretch. Now, is part of that his hand? I don't know, but it clearly looks like the team doesn't love his attitude too much. So, is Alec Boehm on this team next year? Because he's a guy that has some trade value, you would think. Another team would look at him and be like, hey, you know what? 28-year-old third baseman, close to 100 RBIs, one of the league leaders in doubles, all-star. Alec Boehm could get you something. You know what I'm saying? And then you look at this team's outfield. This team's outfield absolutely blows. I mean, if you look at the Phillies outfield, for as good as they are, and props to Castellanos, because Castellanos, I think Castellanos was probably maybe their most consistent player in the second half of the season.
Didn't sit down for a game. Damn right.
But the bottom line is, other than him, and he's very streaky, which runs into problems too, because when he's not hitting, he really sucks. So, but you look, I'm sorry, I can't deal with this line. The lineup's not deep enough to have Rojas go up there. There's times Rojas goes up there, he shouldn't even bring it back, bro. He should just bring up his glove and a hat and just be like, here you go, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Done with that shit.
Couldn't agree more. You send them to the minors, learn how to bunt. And I'm just bringing that up. I mean,
right? No, I hear you. I mean, or maybe he is what he is. I mean, maybe going forward, the Johan Rojas experiment's over, and he's just the fourth outfielder that you bring in for defense late in games, or maybe you play him, over the course of 162. Maybe you play him one time a week to give somebody a day off, or two times a week. You know what I'm saying? Like him being your starting center fielder, if you got to upgrade from that shit. And then another one like Brandon Marsh. Like, I like Brandon Marsh. He seems like a good dude. Seems like the team loves him. Bottom line is the dude can't hit lefties, dude. He hit 194 against left-handed pitching. I mean, you throw a lefty against him, bro, he couldn't even hit a friggin' dodgeball. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and get rid of Mr. Vibes, boy. Time has come for Garrett Stubbs to find another home. Bring up Marshawn. Kind of split JT. I mean, we're stuck with JT, split his catching, whether it's 50-50, whatever number, but he can't be catching all the time, every day, and it's a shame that you can't put him at first like a Joe Mauer did with the Twins because you have Harper there. So, and one thing I like for this team to do is switch up the lineup, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's funny. I feel kind of bad. I feel kind of bad ripping Stubbs because like it's funny. My girlfriend's daughter's probably going to hate me for saying they got to get rid of Stubbs, but I agree with you, Sean. I mean, nice dude. You know what I mean? Like, nice dude. But going forward though, this team needs like think about it, right? Like JT caught all those games. I mean, I know he missed some times with an injury, but like JT caught all those games. I think if you want to have him be somewhat productive in October, I think JT's got to go down the catch in about 100 to 110 games at most.
True.
Because he had nothing. And the scary thing is, like, even great catchers, they're like NFL running backs. Like you could be a really good catcher and just fall off a cliff like immediately.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, it's a shame, but like Stubbs is like that dude. I think he's gonna catch some shrapnel just from losing because somebody's gonna come in and just be like, all right, dude, sorry, but this vibe shit ain't working, man. We're trying to win a World Series. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, do you think Middleton's stupid, crazy money? Get a guy like Soto, Bregman? Like, think about it.
You know what? So I actually do because you know what? I'm going to give you a name right now. You know who I think is going to be a Philly? I'm going to call it right now. Anthony Santander.
Okay.
I think he's going to be a Philly. He's a free agent from Baltimore, had a hell of a year. So now, I read the Phillies are going to be in play for Soto. Maybe they could get Soto, but Soto is going to be like astronomical. And let's be honest, I guess if the Yankees make or win the World Series, he gets a championship. The Yankees could pay him too. Obviously, they got deep pockets themselves. So if the money's close, he may just choose to stay in New York. But Baltimore has never been a team that pays. They pay some free agents, but if Santander makes a huge free agent contract, maybe he's a guy you could go out and get, and he would be a major upgrade on the outfield.
Absolutely. Yeah.
In fact,
definitely want to see change. Because this team they have the talent, to keep on going into the playoffs year after year, but you just can't rely on Harper, and
they're getting older. Yeah, let's look at these numbers, bro. Santander is 29 years old. Well, he's actually going to he turns 30 in 5 days, so he's going to be 30 next year. Now, he only hit 235. Average is a little low. 44 bombs, 102 RBIs.
Yeah.
I'll take 44 homers in this lineup.
I'm damn right. Damn right.
And the reason I think that Middleton, the reason I think Middleton goes out there and spends some big money this offseason is because there's some money coming off the books after this year. This is JT's last year signed. And listen, I love JT Realmuto. He's a club leader. Don't want to lose the dude. But the bottom line is, though, I feel like his days of making $20 million are probably over. You know what I mean? So he's either gone after this year or he's making less. Schwarber. I love Schwarber. I'd love to re-up and extend Schwarber. Bottom line is, though, he's getting up there in age. Don't want to lose him. But if you do bring in a Santander who hits you 40 bombs, if this is Schwarber's last year, well, Santander's your 40 homer guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and you figure Schwarber makes over 20, Realmuto makes over 20. That's 40 mil. That's 40 mil right there off the payroll. You know what I mean? And then Castellanos is signed for 2 more years. I think he makes 20 some million. So, like I said, if that they may go deeper into the luxury tax for this particular year, but after 25, after 26, you can budget the big money contract of guys you signed this year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hang on, I got another comment here. Mike Fuji says Schwarber's a free agent after next season. Yeah, we touched on that. So, all right. So what do you do you think a guy like Bohm? Do you think a guy like Bohm does get moved? Like, do you think that's a move they make?
Yeah. See ya.
All right. Now the one thing is, Aiden Miller is their top prospect. He plays shortstop, but a lot of people speculate because of his size that he's a future third baseman. The only problem with him is I think he's still about a year and a half away, 2 years away. So if you do move on from Bohm, you do need a third baseman. Which Sean, it gives your argument maybe they do go after. Well, see, the problem is though, if you go after a Bregman, then if you do have Miller coming up in a year or two, that kind of blocks him a little bit. Unless unless you move Trey Turner to the outfield. I mean, because he blows it short.
You got to do something with him. Dude's making too much money. Yeah, stick his ass in the outfield. Hayes is gone. That was a shitty show trade acquisition.
You think they do you think they non-tender Hayes, or you think they tender him? I think it's only like a 6 or 8 million tender.
Dude's hard. I mean, the dude battles health elements, pneumonia, kidney stones, injuries. I mean, what do you do? If there's better options out there, I see them saying, see you later. If there is.
I'm like I said, man, our outfield sucks, bro. So like I'm done with this like mix and match. I'm done with this Rojas shit. I'm done with this platoon shit. I want to have legit outfield, like a legit major league outfield. I mean, we are a big market team with a great infield, great pitching. Our outfield blows, and that's one of the reasons why we lost. The outfield absolutely sucks. Except for Casti. When Casti's hot, Castellanos, when he's hot, he's really good. And with the money he makes, he's more valuable to the Phillies than probably them trading him. I don't see, he's so streaky. I don't see anybody taking him in a trade. I feel like he's going to be in Philly. So you need at least 2 more outfield spots. Now, here's the thing. You got the kid Justin Crawford that's in Reading. Now, maybe what you do is you go balls out. You put him on the table and you sign one outfielder, like a big time outfielder, and then maybe the second spot you kind of piecemeal a little bit during the season in the hopes that Justin Crawford takes that step, and maybe you call the kid up around midway through the season.
I think he does, man. The kid hits, he homers, he hits for average, he can steal. I mean, how long are you going to keep these guys in the minors? You don't want them to be like another Jesse Biddle. The time is now. Like, kind of do the evaluation of these players in the minor leagues. Like, Painter's doing fall ball. Good, cool. Because you want to see, hopefully he does come up and he takes that POS of Taiwan Walker's spot, because he's horrendous.
He's got it. He's got to go. I mean, they'll probably try to trade him. And if I'm another GM, I know Taiwan Walker's eaten a lot of innings his career. if I'm another GM, first off, I'm kind of laughing. I'm laughing as you call me, right? First off, I'm going to laugh when you call because I'm just going to be like, bro, really? But thing is, though, Taijuan Walker makes $16 million a year. I think the Phillies would have to eat at least 13, 14 mil, at least 12 to 13 million of that and trade a prospect, and maybe another team looks at his overall track record and says, you know what? He was really terrible last year, but we'll try to get something out of him because he has pitched close to 200 innings, many years. You know what I mean? But he can't be on this team next year.
No.
I mean, I'm not. I don't want to sit through that shit again. I don't care if you got to eat the money. Eat the money, move on, and see if this and give this kid Painter a shot, and just say he's supposed to be your top prospect, and just say, hey, look, you're our fifth starter, bro, and go out there and have him start.
Yeah, you have to. The time is now. You cannot let these guys sit in the minors. Like your Aiden Miller, like you said, Joey, Crawford, Painter. The time is now. Evaluate them. See what they bring to the table.
Yeah, well, the only thing, I think Crawford's a little closer than Miller because, like, Miller literally was only he was in Lakewood up until maybe like the last 3 weeks of the season. So like you're gonna have him start in Reading. You know what I'm saying? Like he's. I don't give a shit if he hits like 15 homers in spring training. He's going to probably get a little bit. They're going to want to give him at least a few hundred at bats in Double-A. You know what I mean? But Crawford might not be that far, and that could be a possibility maybe mid to late next year. And comes from a great bloodline, isn't he? I think he's Carl Crawford's son, isn't he?
Yes.
So, we know all about him. I mean, he was on Tampa Bay when the Phillies beat them in 08.
Mm-hmm.
So he made a lot of money in this league too. So, but anyway, well, look, you know what? We got a lot more weeks to get into Phillies offseason, and it kills me to say that because, I mean, I thought for sure. Honestly, Sean, I thought for sure we wouldn't even be doing the show tonight because the Phillies will be on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I couldn't agree more with you, man.
So instead, we got to watch the friggin' New York Mets play.
Yeah.
So, but all right. Well, you know what? Before we roll out of here, there's a couple other things I wanted to get into. First off, Flyers, start of a new era. I only got to see a little bit of it because unfortunately, we got screwed with like this West Coast trip to start the season. But did you get to see any of the Flyers? This kid Michkov, this Russian kid.
I got him on my fantasy. He's dishing out a lot of assists. Konechny scored. Farabee. They lost a tough one to what was it? The Canucks.
No, Calgary. They lost. Calgary. They beat the Canucks. Yeah, they're 1-1.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, it's an early season and a bright and young season. So yeah, something to look forward to.
Yeah, I'm excited, and I'll tell you. I mean, they surprised some people last year. They almost made the playoffs. I'm hoping for some gradual growth this year. I want to see Michkov, see what he could do. But from by all accounts, I mean, this kid is like the most dynamic forward they've had maybe since I want to say since Lindros, honestly. And he's obviously a different type of player. I mean, Lindros was like brute force. Lindros would go jack you up on the boards. Him and Leclerc, Legion of Doom, board play. This Russian kid is very skillful. I mean, there was a play against the Canucks. He almost scored. I think he literally took the puck and flipped it in between his legs. I mean, dude, he did shit. He did stuff I never seen a Flyers guy do. I mean, because let's keep it real. The Flyers were always
Yeah,
fighters and muckers and grinders and stuff since we've been watching,
absolutely.
So hopefully the Flyers have a bright, really good year, and surprise some people. I still think they're about a year or two away. Um, I think they're about a year or two away, but hopefully maybe sneak into the playoffs this year. And then, they should have cap space next year. Maybe sign a free agent, make a couple trades, and then, a year or two time, if these young guys develop, we could really be looking at something in this town.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So that's the Flyers, and one one thing I wanted to get into, really, Sixers, had a great offseason, right? Typical Sixers. I was talking to a couple friends about this today. Daryl Morey goes out and cooks. He gets Paul George. He gets Caleb Martin. Gets the French guy. I think a lot of people like.
Yeah,
Brings back Andre Drummond. And so many things look good for this franchise. And then today I see a report that comes out. Actually, yesterday it comes out, and it says Joel Embiid's not playing any preseason, which I wipe my ass with preseason games, bro. I don't care about preseason. But it literally says, oh, we're going to evaluate his knee. And then today it comes out, and I don't know if he made a comment. I think somebody said he made a comment, basically saying that he'll probably never play any more back-to-backs. And, dude, this franchise, man, like I feel like it's our whole life, dude. You get excited about a team, and do I really care if Embiid plays every back-to-back in the regular season? No, I don't necessarily care about that. But it's a bigger picture. It's like you want to be excited going into this season. You look and you say, all right, you got the world champion Celtics we got it going for. You got the Knicks. Then you got the Sixers with all this talent they added. And it's like you just threw cold water on me because you're basically telling me, all right, Embiid's not playing back-to-backs. The best we're probably going to be is like we might be like maybe a 4 or 5 seed again, which makes it hard as shit to get to the finals. Dude, Sean, I'm so sick of it, bro.
The porcelain doll. It's our curse, dude. What else do you want? You got Boston Celtics, New England Patriots, Boston Bruins. It's like,
yeah.
Why the hell can't we catch a break? I guess maybe it's something in the water. Who the hell knows? But yeah.
Well, there's going to be a great 30 for 30 someday about the process. And here's me having, I try to be an optimist, and I want to be optimistic because I love what they did in the offseason. And I still think they have a chance, but the bottom line is I hate to say it, man, but I have a feeling that like 5 to 10 years from now, we're going to look at this process and we're going to look at a guy in Joel Embiid who's like one of the most talented individuals to ever put on an NBA uniform. I mean, let's keep it real. This dude does things. This guy puts up numbers and does things that nobody else has ever done. Even some of the things he's done haven't been done since Wilt Chamberlain. And Joel Embiid shoots 3-pointers as a 7-footer. He shoots 80-some% from the foul line. I mean, the guy is an all-time great talent, great player. And I just have a feeling that we're going to be screwed because he's never, ever, ever going to be healthy enough to be healthy in the big moments and get that ring. And it's every frigging year. And even this year, we're going to sit around and he's going to play when he plays. He's going to not play back-to-backs, and all year the talk is going to be, oh, well, you know what? He's going to be healthy for the playoffs. And you know what's going to happen? The playoffs are going to come, and he's going to be out there, and he's going to be moping around just like the Knicks series, and Sean, the thing that's crazy, if you look at his numbers, he put up like 30 some points a game against the Knicks on one friggin' leg. I mean, that's how good this dude is. And it just drives me insane, man, because I want this team to win a championship more than almost any other team in the city. And I want to be excited about them. And it's just like, I honestly, like, I feel like you're sitting here excited and they just kick me in the balls. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I just got kicked in the balls. Like, oh, well,
total letdown. Yeah, I know.
you know, it's, I don't know, man. What do you, I mean, what do you think? I mean, the only hope we have is that somehow one of these years we get in and by the grace of God, he's like 85, 90%. Because I'm telling you, he's so good. And Adam George with the improvement of Maxi and this bench, he's so good. I feel like this team with a 90% Embiid could possibly win the title. But the
True.
problem is that he's never there. He's just not.
He's
You know what I
invisible.
mean?
Yeah, he's invisible. I mean, we don't know what to expect from him. And, it's almost, you get so pissed off about it. Like you said, he's a generational talent. He's so talented, but, oh, I'm going to not play back-to-back games. No, bro, we need you. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, dude, I'm like, maybe besides Jokic and Luka, I'm the face of the NBA and even of my team. But
he's the most talent. He's the most talented player in the NBA. Now that might change because the kid in San Antonio is getting there. I mean, you know what I mean? Like that kid's unreal too.
Yeah.
He'll get there too. But I'm saying though, like this dude I look at last year. Last year's perfect example. With Embiid in the lineup, the Sixers had pretty much almost the same winning percentage as the Boston Celtics when Embiid was in the lineup when they were healthy.
Mm-hmm.
He meant, again, he hurts his knee like 3 days after he puts up 70 against Wemby. He hurts his knee, right? Or whatever it was, maybe a week later, I forget. So he misses all this time. He gets the surgery, and the talk is, oh, well, the Sixers are a 7 seed. Oh, but Embiid's healthy. Here we go. Embiid's healthy. And then you watch him play, and it never matters, bro. It just never matters.
Like you said, it's a kick in the gut, dude. Kick in the gut.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be like this because, I mean, I love what they did in the offseason. I mean, Paul George is like such an upgrade over Tobias Harris. It's not even funny.
Crumble cookies playing in Detroit. He got his wish. Good luck.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're upgrading like Kate Upton over like I don't know who's somebody like Roseanne Barr. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the upgrade, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dude. And the bottom line is that you made a great upgrade. Caleb Martin, I think, is going to be really good for this team. That I love watching him play for the Heat. He's the kind of guy that makes you some winning plays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you got Drummond, and Drummond's the perfect backup for Embiid. So but I want a top 3 seed. I want to go into the playoffs being a top 3 seed. I don't want to go into the playoffs being like a 4th or a 5th seed. Especially a 5th seed because he misses too much time. And because I don't care how good you are. I know the Heat did it a couple years ago, but it's hard to win. It's hard to make it all the way through the playoffs when you don't have home court advantage at all in this league. Like, you know what I mean? It's hard. You look throughout history in the history of National Basketball Association, it's rare that happens. I mean, I think the Rockets in '94 come to mind as like one of the few teams that won or '95 actually. It was the year after '94. '95, I think Houston was like a 5 seed and they won the chip. But it's very rare. It doesn't happen that much.
No, it does not.
So I want one of those top 3, 4 seeds. And I don't really want you really want a 3 because if you're 4, second round you got to play the 1 seed, and that could either that's always going to be tough.
Yeah.
So, But anyway, you know what? We'll get into that a lot more in the coming weeks. They're just getting started. I think actually, what is it? Opening night is what, 9 days away, I think, right?
Yes.
So that'll be interesting. I think Glenn Rivers comes here. I think it's Milwaukee, Philly.
Yeah.
At least that's the home opener. So that'll be interesting.
Thursday night's the NBA opener next Thursday. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. And then one other thing I wanted to get in before we get out of here too. Good. Oh, let me say. Oh, wow, nice catch. Nimmo just made a nice catch. It's still 6-3 Mets. Bottom of the eighth, 2 outs. But anyway, one other thing I wanted to get into. Big Monday Night Football game tonight. Buffalo Bills, New York Jets. I think the Bills are like a 3 or 3.5 point favorite.
Well,
What's your thought? What's your thoughts on that game tonight?
Bills and
Okay.
just in for fantasy players and players that like the Buffalo Bills, James Cook's out with a toe injury. He's not playing.
Damn it! I need my phone. I have him. He was questionable. I got him in my lineup.
Yeah, he's out. So, you got Ray Davis, the rookie, and another guy by the name of Jackson playing. But yeah, I see the Bills winning. The Jets are so, they're in disarray now that they fired their head coach. So go Bills.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. It's funny because I want to say the Jets. There's a part of me that wants to say the Jets. But I got to be honest, man. Aaron Rodgers looks a little washed to me, dude.
Yeah,
Did you see
yeah.
some of the like watching him play last week? Like I don't know, man. He doesn't look like he's been on the TB12 diet, bro. Because how Tom Brady played until his 40s. Rodgers looks like he's not on the TB12 because he looks a little off to me.
True.
I need Garrett Wilson. I'm down 3 points in my league. I got Garrett Wilson and the guy I'm playing has Brees Hall. So I have some, I'll be watching for that particular reason. I'm at, what's funny though? I know I just said Aaron Rodgers looks a little washed. I actually think the Jets win the game outright tonight though. I'm taking the Jets.
All right.
I'm not taking them. I wouldn't put my money on it, but I'm saying I think the Jets are going to win.
I hear you. I like the Bills, so I'll take the Bills.
All right. Well, yeah, maybe we'll do it. Yeah. All right. Maybe we'll do a, I don't know. Maybe we'll bet a beer or something.
All right.
So, but anyway, all right. Well, look, let's get ready to wrap up here. Yeah. Here's hoping. Well, it looks like the Mets might hold on to this game, but go Birds. By the time we're on next week, the Birds would have played the Giants.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick. You know what? So I should be back in time to do the show next week. I will have to let you know because I'll be coming back. Sean, I'm coming back from Nashville. I'm going to Nashville on the weekend.
Well, look at you.
Yeah. First time, man. I heard it's a great time, and so I'm going. Me, Johnny, and Jerry are going. It's Johnny's birthday, so we're going to Nashville for the weekend. We're flying home Monday. And like I said, I think I'll be back in time to do the show. But if for some reason I'm not, I'll let you know.
Wink, wink.
What's that?
Wink, wink.
Haha. Yeah. So.
Oh, good.
But anyway, all right. Well, go Birds.
Okay.
Go Birds. Go Flyers. And you know what? Let's get a 4-relief clover for Joel Embiid's knee. Right? We need some. We need some type of luck.
I need it all the most.
Ha.
I can do it.
All right. Well, yeah. We'll see you all next week. Have a good one. Peace.
Have a good one. Later.